Hello. Welcome to Grandma Harley and Phyllis.
Grandma Phyllis and Harley.
Woof. Arf. Bark, bark. Hello, this is Grandma Phyllis and Harley. And today we're going to talk about the importance of dreams in your life. You can spend a whole lifetime studying dreams and still have more to learn. But basically, how I started was understanding that I've had dreams all my life. They've been very important to me. And I started interpreting them because I found that some of them were very prophetic. And I usually take a notebook like this, a legal notepad book like this, to write them down. And that's because they can be very lengthy or very short. It depends. I also use a book or two books to translate and to work with them. And one is I highly recommend, which is Dreams, Your Magic Mirror by Elsa Sechrist. You can buy it on Amazon or through the ARE, Association for Research and Enlightenment, in Virginia Beach. It is an excellent book. It's words and suggestions taken by Miss Sechrist in writing this book from Edgar Cayce's readings. And if you've never heard of him, I suggest you look him up. He's called A Prophet in Our Own Times, a wonderful human being, very Christian man, and a good human being all the way around. The other book I have is The 20,000 Dreams by Mary Summer Rain. She is partially Native American, and she lives in Colorado, I believe, still. And these are 20,000 explanations or interpretations of different words that we have in dreams. And I find it extremely helpful. Dreams are very important in your life, and it's important to write them down, which is why I suggest you have a pad and a pencil by your bedside or your nightstand. When you wake up in the morning, you can sketch down feelings, colors, words, or a story, or an animal, whatever it is that you've dreamed about, and it can give you a help towards interpreting your dreams. They are wonderful stories. The symbolism is fantastic. And we'll be having short videos done on maybe a word or two and how it helps give you more significance in the dream. But if you look at them as a story of your life in symbols. So why symbols? Well, because the conscious mind has a way of rejecting information or facts because it doesn't like them. It has a thought process. It wants to get them relatable. Sometimes the dreams are plays on words, like puns. But the unconscious mind is seeking a way to provide information for you how to live each day of your life and whether or not you're achieving your goals or you're moving in the right direction or whether or not you're moving in the wrong direction and you need corrective action. Dreams can be prophetic about outside events that occur in your life. They can be about your health, such as when you dream about a car. The car is a representation of your physical body. If you're driving the car, that means that you're in the car. If the car is having trouble or gets a flat tire, that means there's something wrong. If there's something wrong with the engine, it could well be something wrong with a internal organ like your heart. The wheels, if they get flat, they mean you might be having a problem with energy. It's a number of things depending on the dream story itself and whether or not you care to follow through with it. It opens the door to your mind. What's truly going on inside of you from a spiritual level, from a physical level, from a psychological level, from an emotional level. And it also can give you guidance on how to conduct your life, how to handle a thorny problem at work, or how to handle an intimate relationship issue. Did you know that Ford dreamed about an assembly line, and that's where he put together, in real life, an assembly line because he dreamed about it first. a number of inventors will dream about their invention before they bring it into the physical world. Edgar Cayce was fond of saying, and I find that this is true after so many years of studying him, spirit is the ideal, mind is the builder, and the physical is the result. And in my experience, I add extra and say the emotion is the glue that holds them together, that helps you to understand what it is going through. And hopefully, if you do learn to study these and to understand and interpret your dreams, you can pretty much get a good projection in your life. You can dream about future occurrences, so it's prophetic. You can dream about past events that are traumatic so that you can release them and let them go. Forgiveness. There are times when if you see hands applauding like this, that means you're doing the right thing in the right way and you're on the right path. Your unconscious will praise you, will let you know. Your mood when you get up in the morning is also probably dependent upon what happened in the dream state and the stories you have. Now, you dream multiple times at a night, not just the one time. And you need to understand that. Sometimes a dream will repeat itself. If a dream repeats itself in one night, that means really, this is important. Look at it. Try to understand what it is. Muse about it. Meditate on it. Whatever. Put it on the back burner of your mind and let it percolate, as I say. And then all of a sudden, you'll get an aha moment. Something may clarify and you'll understand it. If a dream repeats itself after week after week after week after month after year, look at it then as also, this is something that needs to be looked at because you're not getting it. You're not doing what's needed to alter whatever is going on in your life. I've had dreams where I've had a conversation with someone, and the next day or two, I am in a situation where I have that same conversation alive with the person I had the conversation with. And in a couple of instances, I changed what I said in response to the other person, and an argument did not ensue as it did in the dream. So I used the dream to change a future event that would have cost me a friendship at the time. And I've used a dream to avoid accidents, to get to the doctor on time, because I've had a dream once where I was lying in a hospital room, like an emergency room. I was lying on the bed, and I had a doctor, and they had a syringe, and they were putting milk into my mouth. Now, at the time, people with ulcers were told to drink a lot of milk. It's supposed to coat the stomach, get it better. So my dream was telling me there was something wrong with my stomach, and yeah, I had an ulcer growing. So I used that to help take care of my body. I've not had that dream since. I've not really had a problem because I'm aware of taking care of my body and making it happy. There are dreams of where you might be falling and you wake up abruptly, and that is a warning dream, and you need to go, what was it that preceded that? In some instances, if you feel you're falling and you wake up just a jolt in your body, that means that your soul or your spirit has left the body during the night and is coming back in, and maybe not coming back in the exact same position that it left. You might have moved a little bit in your sleep. Your body might have moved, or just before your soul came back, you might have moved. And that jolt that wakes you up is the soul coming back into the body, as I say, which was not in the exact same position as when it left. When you wake up in the morning to remember dreams, lie there and try to, when you come from the sleep state into a semi-conscious state, try to catch on to the dream, whether it's a word, it's a color, it's an activity, and keep it in mind. Go over it in your mind and backtrack it. Try to go to the beginning of that particular dream, which could lead you to another dream, by the way. But at any rate, go back to that dream and see if you can capture the story. Were you walking? Were you riding? Were you playing? What were you doing? Were there other people involved? Were you alone or with animals, or where were you? Where was the scene, the environment? And you just start writing down. Sometimes you have to start with a word or two. It could be a color that captured your imagination. It could have been a sound or a word. It could be a feeling. It could be a sense of taste. Maybe you were eating something. Maybe there was a beautiful dinner out and you started to eat. It could be anything that comes to your mind from that unconscious state. And from there, you can write it down and record it. And then later on, do an interpretation. If you feel you can interpret it right away, put down felt strange, felt this was a warning, wondered what my goal in life was this part of it? I was seeking something. I arrived at a destination. Was I walking? Was I in a train, a plane? Was I racing? Any kind of fact, verb, adjective, whatever, noun that you can think of that had to do with that dream and when you woke up. Because some people have a hard time remembering. Some people don't want to remember because they don't want to be reminded of what they're doing. Scary dreams are usually dreams of warning you that you're not quite right on the right track. If you dream about teeth, like an alligator or someone biting, that's pretty much a mark that says you're speaking in ways that are hurtful to other people. You've got to mind your speech and change your speech and how you speak. Not be so mean and aggressive with other people. And a lot of people don't want to turn and look at themselves because they're afraid of what they will see. You should never be afraid of what you can see, because we are all connected to that which is good and in the highest good for us. We are all here with a purpose, and our dreams can help us focus on that purpose and help us find our way to what our goal and mission is in this life. And if you write these down, as I have, since 1973, you can track them over the years. If you keep them and track them over the years, you can see which dreams were prophetic and which were not. And believe it or not, you'll begin to remember the dreams when you write them down and you start reading them again. You can say, I remember that dream. And you might find the same theme running through different dreams. That's another thing. They're like movies, actually. They're like short movies or long movies. Some dreams are very short and to the point, and some are long and rambling. And so I find them fascinating. It's like reading a good book. The other thing about it, when I write down these words and a story lines, I try to pick out several important words. What is the theme of the dream today? What is the theme? Is it the same that night and presented different ways? Because your unconscious mind will keep bringing up an issue that you may be avoiding, and it will address it in different ways to reach you, different symbols to reach you and get through to your conscious mind so that you can change or adjust or adapt, whatever it may be. Now, are there days when you wake up and not remember a dream? Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. You just say, dream not remembered. Very easy. You don't beat yourself up about it. It's just you didn't remember. And there are other times when you feel you might have an out-of-body experience, or you might have a visitation in the night, and you record that too, because that can happen. There are those who swear that they get taken different places in their dreams by other entities. And yeah, that can happen. It's real. If it feels real to you, it's real. You can have meetings with those relatives who have passed on. They will come to you in dreams, and you'll find that written in the Bible. In the Bible, it does talk about dreams and the importance of dreams and warnings received and directions given and so forth and so on. So dreams are very important and have been in many cultures for many years. Thank you for watching. I hope you found it interesting. If you have a dream that you'd like interpreted, please feel free to contact me. The information is in the information box, so you may contact me through that. Send your questions. I'll be glad to answer them. And I thank you so much for watching, and look for others. We have some shorts coming up on certain words and their interpretation, and dreams that were interpreted and the outcome of that interpretation. Goodbye.